This presentation is being recorded and all attendees are muted. A link to today's recording will be sent out to the email you registered with on Zoom. Feel free to comment or ask questions throughout the presentation using the Q&A box. A team member will answer questions throughout the webinar. We will also have a Q&A session at the end of the webinar. For technical assistance, please put your information in the chat for troubleshooting assistance. Now, we were set to have our director for the Department of Aging and Disabilities to make some welcome remarks, but due to some unforeseen circumstances, she will not be available. However, she does send her best wishes. Now, LA Found, a part of the Disabilities Division, was created with a simple but crucial mission: to help families whose loved ones with Alzheimer's, dementia, autism, or developmental disabilities are prone to wandering. Caregivers are essential to making this program successful. This webinar is a collaboration between our LA Found program, the LA Found Task Force, and the Aging and Disabilities Department. In November, and especially during today's webinar, we honor our family caregivers and say thank you during National Family Caregivers and National Alzheimer's Awareness Month. At the Aging and Disabilities Department, we believe in making life better for older adults and individuals with Alzheimer's disease and those providing support as caregivers. We want everyone to age with dignity, to remain active in their communities, and to have the resources they need to thrive. Our vision is clear: to help older adults with cognitive impairments and their caregivers stay safe where they can live fulfilling lives in a community that supports them. We want to make sure that no one is forgotten or left behind. I want to encourage you to listen to our experts today from Alzheimer's LA, Alzheimer's Association, and the LA County Department of Mental Health, who can provide supportive tips on resources and maintaining a self-care plan on caregivers. Thank you for joining us today. We hope you leave today's webinar with not just knowledge, but feeling supported and knowing that we are so grateful for all that you do for your loved ones. So at this time, we're going to present a short video, which is a sneak preview of a 53-minute documentary, which is called Unseen: How We're Failing Caregivers and Why It Matters. We were informed about this video by Kate Movius of Autism Interaction Solutions. We strongly encourage you to watch the full video. Our team will put the link to the documentary in the chat. You can also go directly to the video at caregiverdoc.com.
You know, they say it takes a village to raise a child. And I don't know that that can be any more true than for parents of special needs children. We absolutely need that village to surround us, and the village is never there.
We're just hanging on by a thread most of the time.
Being a caretaker for somebody with profound needs is like sacrificing your life for another person.
And that's the hardest part, is it's nobody's fault. It's not our fault. It's not his fault. It's just part of our life.
Our parenting and caregiving will continue indefinitely, and that's just overwhelming.
We're not targeting this population. We're not screening them appropriately.
I had a stress-induced heart attack at 30 years old.
There is no burden of a child. It is the burden of our society failing these families.
Ignorance is bliss. She's fine, he's fine, they're fine. And we plaster our smiles on our faces and pretend like everything's fine. And we just can't do that anymore. Most caregivers are not fine and they're not doing well.
So once again, we definitely encourage you to watch the full documentary. We will provide the link in the chat box, but you could also go directly to it at caregiverdoc, that's doc.com. And now I would like to introduce Barbara McClendon, Senior Director of Public Policy for Alzheimer's Los Angeles and a member of the LA Found Task Force. Barbara has worked for over 20 years focusing on aging and long-term care policy and advocacy by developing legislation and policy recommendations to improve services and support for people with dementia and Alzheimer's. Her current project includes advocating for the development of dementia-capable healthcare delivery systems and building dementia-friendly communities throughout Los Angeles. Let's give a warm hand to Barbara McClendon, who will now provide remarks.
Thank you, Dave, and good afternoon to everyone who's with us here today. As Dave said, my name is Barbara McClendon, and I'm from Alzheimer's Los Angeles. We are a community-based organization that's been providing a wide range of services and supports to families across Los Angeles for 40 years. All of our services are free and available in English and Spanish, as well as many other languages. Caring for a loved one with Alzheimer's or another dementia can be all-consuming, but caring for yourself is essential if you are going to be able to continue to provide that care for others. So if you're with us live today or you're watching this recording, I just want to say well done, because you are already reaching out for support. Throughout the rest of this webinar, we're going to be providing some tips for how you can take care of yourself, as well as information on resources you can connect with after today's webinar to support you on your caregiving journey. And I really encourage you all to do that. We're going to start off today with a poll question. You're going to be able to click on your screen to answer this when you see it pop up. So I will read it out. This is question number 1. What kind of resources are you looking for? And you can select more than one option here. Support group, respite care, legal or financial care, information on Medi-Cal, wandering/elopement prevention information, or other. So we're just going to take a moment here to give you a chance to select however many of these you would like to, just to indicate what kind of resources are you looking for information or a connection to those services and supports to help. So it looks like the number 1 selected support is respite care. And that doesn't surprise me. And I want to let everyone on this webinar know it is available. All of our organizations, well, not perhaps the Department of Mental Health, but I know the Alzheimer's Association, Alzheimer's Los Angeles, and the department can connect you. So I just want to say again, you are not alone in this journey. We hope you will use the information in today's webinar and reach out so that we can help you connect to those services and supports. Thanks. And Dave, back to you.
Thank you so much, Barbara, and thanks so much to Alzheimer's Los Angeles. Now it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Heide Fakrabadi. Dr. Fakrabadi is a licensed clinical psychologist who is fluent in English and Farsi. She is also a member of the LA Found Task Force. She has her MA in clinical health psychology and her doctoral degree in clinical psychology. Dr. Fakrabadi has been employed with the Los Angeles County Department of Mental Health since 2008. She joined the Older Adult System of Care Administration in 2011 and is the lead trainer for the Outpatient Services Division, providing trainings to the Department of Mental Health workforce, mental health providers, and other community-based organizations on various mental health-related topics. Dr. Fakrabadi frequently speaks on various mental health topics at local and national conferences and serves as a media representative for the department. Please give a warm welcome to Dr. Fakrabadi.
Thank you so much, Mr. David Cochin. Again, I'm Dr. Heide Fakrabadi, clinical psychologist with the Los Angeles County Department of Mental Health. Our mission at the Department of Mental Health is to optimize the whole well-being and life trajectory of Los Angeles County's most vulnerable through access to care and resources that promotes not only independence and personal recovery, but also connectedness and community reintegration. Thank you so much for inviting me, and it is such an honor to be part of this wonderful day of recognizing and celebrating our caregivers. Caregiving responsibilities will touch almost all of us in our lives. And as our former First Lady, Rosalind Carter, stated, there are only four kinds of people in the world: those who have been caregivers, those who are currently caregivers, and those who will be caregivers, and those who will need a caregiver. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reports 1 in 5 adults are caregivers, and 1 in 6 non-caregivers expect to become caregivers within 2 years. Again, it's an honor to be here today and celebrate our caregivers. And I really want to focus on the positive aspect and impact of caregiving. But I cannot dismiss the challenges and stressors that we may face as caregivers. When we look at the cultural and family expectations of caregiving impact, it is a cultural expectation. It is a duty to family. It is an unquestionable expectation. Perhaps it is a fulfillment of a promise to a family member, or maybe it's a repayment of the great benefits that we get from our family members. Perhaps our caregiving is our extension of our love and care for our loved ones. And sometimes we look at our faith-based, we look at that view when we are providing care. And it's seen when we are providing care to our family member, it's an act of faith and religious belief. And our religious belief provide the key strength to help us through the process. When we look at the growth, opportunity, and reciprocity, we're looking at caregiving as a positive outlook, as opportunity for personal growth, as an opportunity for finding sense of gratitude, and of course, treating our care recipients with respect and dignity. Treat them the way we would want to be treated. And of course, the stressors and challenges faced by caregiving, lifestyle changes, financial burden, loss of a relationship, loss of a plan, physical and psychological challenges that we may experience when we're providing care to our loved ones, and some of the negative feelings such as guilt, sadness, anxiety, isolation, loneliness, anger, and sometimes sits behind that anger, it may be sadness and disappointments. Of course, shame, guilt, worries, and being resentful, maybe some of the feelings that we may experience. But once again, I want us to focus on the positive aspects, the sense of fulfillment, sense of purpose, being humble, sense of gratitude, and pride. You know, everything filters through a culture, and culture impacts all aspects of our life, health and illness. And it's a challenging endeavor to understand the way people experience and respond to wellness and distress. Sometimes, unfortunately, because of stigma, we may not reach out and ask for help because we may come from a cultural model that expect us to get the help from the group, and going outside the group may be seen as not acceptable. But I'm here to tell you, sometimes we may need professional help and care, and it's okay. And it's imperative part of self-care to reach out and ask for help. Cultural ideology encompasses beliefs and values about what is important, what is right, and what is normal. Culture is the way we eat, we dress, we interact with others. Everything filters through our culture. Culture includes traditional and interpersonal behavior that impacts how individuals communicate, maybe their signs and symptoms, their help-seeking behavior, and also their self-care, basically all of our lives. Caregiving can impact self-care. And study indicate sometimes maybe our caregivers even neglecting their own care appointments. They neglect their own healthcare appointments. And they may be at increased risk of experiencing depression. So I want to make the case for self-care. Self-care means investing in yourself. It is a holistic endeavor that impacts all aspects of our life. It means taking the time and energy to create a healthy balance in our life. And I have to tell you, only you are responsible for your emotional and physical well-being. You know, scheduling fun activities now and then, it's wonderful, but that's not all the self-care it is. It is basically a self-reflection. Self-care is intentional action for care, psychological, physical, spiritual self-care, and workplace. And of course, self-care is a buffer against stressors. So let's review some of the skills for self-care. As you're looking at all these items, you may say, I know about all this. So what happened? How is it sometimes we do not incorporate these self-care strategies into our lives? Better sleep, taking care of our physical health, healthy nutrition, physical activity, having a healthy boundaries, breathing exercise, grounding techniques, mindfulness, stretching, and yes, of course, breaking the stress cycle in your mind by visualization and taking your break from the present setting. Important aspect of self-care is reaching out and connecting to support, connecting to family, friends, support groups, and perhaps your religious or spiritual resources, church, synagogue, mosque. Involve your support system. And of course, reach out and ask, for example, for mental health services and resources if it's needed. Connect to a social worker, to a provider. And of course, as mentioned at the beginning of today's talk, reach out to the community resources. Many of you indicated respite care. Absolutely. Look and see where are these resources located and how you can access them. Maybe transportation, maybe meal delivery, maybe home healthcare services, housekeeping services, or perhaps some modification in your home, or maybe legal consultation. Self-care and attend to needs, your physical and psychological needs. Kindness to self and to others. Gratitude. State of thankfulness. Remembering past success, try to relax. Develop a positive and optimistic attitude and avoid isolation. Social network and social support. Build upon those social network of supports. Pursue hobbies. Move towards your goal and take decisive actions. Incorporate laughter and sense of humor into your life. And know the importance of boundaries. Be aware of warning signs. Physical health issues, those aches and pains, attend to them. If you're neglecting your responsibilities, if you're being more sad, if you're withdrawing from others, pay attention to these warning signs. If your sleep and appetite is impacted and you have issue with it, please pay attention to it. Bring in sense of meaning and purpose in your life. And reach out and ask for help and know your available resources. I'm proud to say here at Los Angeles County Department of Mental Health, we care for the well-being of our residents. We have a 24 hours, 7 days a week telephone helpline, 800-854-7771. Services provided by our Los Angeles County Department of Mental Health helpline includes access line for service referrals, crisis assessments, field deployments available 24/7, mental health screening assessment, referral to a service provider, crisis counseling, mobilizing field response teams, linkage to other services and resources, and of course, our emotional support warm line. Happens sometimes we may experience increased challenges and stressors. The emotional support warm line is available daily, 10:30 a.m. until 9 p.m. Our veteran line for support and assistance connecting to veteran programs available daily, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. 988 suicide prevention, mental health crisis, and substance use crisis is a 24/7 confidential and free emergency line for mental health related distress, including thoughts of suicide, as well as substance use crisis. And please, for additional information, visit our website, dmh.lacounty.gov/resources, and also dmh.lacounty.gov/get-help-now. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that presentation, Dr. Fakrabati. I know it was very helpful to our attendees today. Now, before introducing our next speaker, we have a question for everyone here today. What are some healthy habits you might practice for your brain health, such as yoga, meditation, running, walking, painting, etc.? Please go ahead and put your responses in the chat box. We're very curious. At this time, I will go ahead and introduce Yael White from the Alzheimer's Association. Yael serves as the Program and Education Manager for the Southland chapter of the Alzheimer's Association, bringing over 20 years of experience working with individuals and families affected by dementia. In this role, she is dedicated to educating the community about Alzheimer's disease and actively participates in events to increase awareness. Yael provides vital support to families and caregivers through care consultations, support groups, and access to valuable resources. Her passion for guiding families through the challenges of dementia care is reflected in her background, which includes work with both nonprofit organizations such as the Lisa Gibbons Memory Foundation and Hilarity for Charity, as well as in-home care and assisted living services. She holds a BS in speech pathology and an MSW with a geriatric focus from USC. Please give a warm welcome to Yael White.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm loving seeing all these things that people do for themselves. It's so important. And I just, I can't reiterate enough from what we said from the clip to the movie to what Barbara said to Dr. Haida said is just, this takes a community, and it definitely takes asking for some support and doing the best to receive that support. And specifically with dementia, just knowing that it takes a team to lift us up and to get through this all. And we're all these organizations are here to help and support in this journey and provide resources and support in any way that we can. So I'm going to start today about some tips for just a healthy brain, healthy heart, healthy living, and then healthy habits. And then we're going to talk about some other things, some things we can do for some of our personal care. But I always start this presentation by saying it turns out that what's good for your heart is also good for your head. So we want to have some basic healthy living tips for our brain to be healthy and for our heart to be healthy. We're going to start at the top, challenging our mind, and then go around the circle. I'm going to be brief, but you can definitely, if you have questions, please put them in the chat. The first thing, challenge our mind. Every day you should have some sort of cognitive stimulation, and the difference of when you are chillaxing and just like your mind is just on relax mode, and when you're learning something new, you're learning a new language, you're learning a new you're playing Sudoku, you're doing a crossword puzzle. At some point in the day when you can feel your brain go zing, that's the kind of thing we want to have happen every day for us. You want to maybe stay in school if this is a great opportunity for you to explore a new topic, It doesn't, you can do, it doesn't have to be school like for pressure and for grades. You can just take classes through an emeritus foundation, or just pass, no pass, just because you're interested in learning something new. The important thing is, if you're going to stay in school, just make sure that it's something that you're interested in, something you're committed to, something you're motivated by. Eating right. Sometimes that sounds obvious, and it doesn't mean that you can never cheat on your diet, or not. I don't even want to call it diet, just healthy living. But studies show that a healthy Mediterranean diet is kind of the way to go. Low fats, high proteins, balanced veggies, and we're using plant proteins. Just eating in a healthy way, not eating fast food every day, not eating junk food all the time. Although it makes us feel good in the moment, it's kind of an hour later, we're like, oh, I don't know, that didn't really feel so good, or doesn't sit right. Now I don't feel so good. So now I'm not motivated to take a walk, and it's a big, deep spiral. If there is diabetes in the family, or the possibility of diabetes in the family, we really want to make sure that we have our diabetes in check, just for all around general health. Diabetes puts a hamper on everything, makes us vulnerable for other diseases, other infections, other everything. So we want to keep that in check if that's an issue. Same with maintaining a healthy weight, and same with going back to eating right and challenging our mind. Like, all of this is connected, but maintaining a healthy weight, check with your doctor or a nutritionist to see what that healthy weight for you is. But again, eating right, getting exercise, maintaining a healthy weight so that you can be healthy, so that you have energy to go on throughout the day, not only for your caregiving needs, but also for your self-care time. And I saw a lot of that self-care in the chat. Sleeping well, for those who don't know, sleeping well, it's like, the new black. 8 hours of healthy REM sleep is our ideal. Not many people are able to get that these days. There's just so much going on, so much that demands our attention. So many people, and myself included, we don't have trouble going to sleep, but then are up at 3 a.m. just buzz, 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 buzz. So ideally, we'd like to get a sleep regimen, get off our devices, turn off our distractions, not apologize to ourselves, but before we go to bed, kind of accept our day for what it was, that we accomplished everything that we could. We're not going to beat ourselves up over it, and just say tomorrow's another day. Anything that we can do to lower the anxiety, lower the pressure before sleep, so we can have a full night of healthy sleeping. Ideally, we'd love to have 30 minutes of cardio exercise every day. For some people that's attainable, for some people that's not. Let's not add more pressure to our plate. Find a friend, commit to walking, commit to a aerobics class, commit to a yoga class, commit to something. You want to get your cardiovascular moving 30 minutes every day. If you do it 3 times a week even, that's fantastic. But generally, once we get moving, once we get our body, our heart, our mind moving, we feel better in general. And that's going to impact everything else in the circle. Controlling our blood pressure, always really important. If I remember, what's good for our heart is good for our head. Remain smoke-free. Turns out smoking, if you haven't gotten the message yet, not that great for you. So let's cut that habit and protect your head. Especially, I'm seeing all these young people these days on the e-bikes without their helmets. It's so dangerous. Make sure, if you're going to be out biking in any way or on the road in any way, that your head is protected. So those are our 10 healthy habits for our brain. And now let's talk a little bit about some caregiving tips. Next slide. So, the slide before that. We're going to talk about just some 10 reasons to take a deep breath. Dr. Heido had also mentioned the importance of just slowing down, taking a breath, but it lowers our blood pressure and slows down our heart rate. It improves our immune response and keeping you stronger and healthier. It decreases tension, stress, and anxiety, right? So you can feel when your shoulders are up to your earlobes, if you could just remind yourself to take a moment and just say, whoa, I'm going to take a breath. I'm going to count to 10. Hopefully, de-escalate what's going on in our heart and in our head. Taking a deep breath grows the thoughtfulness, prefrontal cortex part of your brain. You may not have realized all the stuff that's going on also internally. Send a message to your brain that everything will be okay. That's what, when you take a deep breath, you're taking a pause, you're slowing things down, calming everything down. Everything is going to be okay. It acts like a pause or a reset. Sometimes we're asked to give a lot of answers very quickly or make decisions. We're always making decisions throughout our day. From the moment we wake up to the moment we go to sleep, we're making decisions. All that adds up. So the breath allows us to be like, well, hold up. I want to just take a minute before I respond to that or make a decision on buying that or not. It helps you feel more calm and capable. It clears up foggy thinking and improves memory, attention, and focus and concentration. All so important. Who knew all this in just in a nice, simple breath? And helps you solve problems and find solutions and improves your self-control, right? If I'm feeling confused about something, I just want to take a little moment of a timeout, take a deep breath, count to 10 slowly, exhale, and then get a new perspective. Sometimes even helps if I close my eyes, just lets my whole body know like that we're taking this moment as a timeout. And then the next slide, I want to briefly talk about, we're entering the holiday season. It's officially kicking off next week. So just remember that as a caregiver, we don't have to try to do it all. We don't have to do it all on ourselves. We can accept invitations out. We don't have to, even if we've been the host for the last 1,000,000 years, it's okay to say, this year I'm going to take a break. I've got a lot on my plate. I'm going to go somewhere else. I want to enjoy the experience, and I'm going to think of a plan B or plan C because if I am hosting of the things that could possibly go wrong, and I'm going to prepare for them. It's not going to be a long evening. It's going to be earlier in the day. I'm going to order, I'm going to cater it. I'm going to bring in food. I'm going to have everyone bring in a dish, whatever we're going to do to enjoy the experience. Maybe you're going to treat yourself. Again, maybe you love baking, but you can't do that this year. So maybe you're going to treat yourself to ordering some pies, or maybe you're going to treat yourself with a massage or a walk or a something, but doing something kind for yourself. Maybe all the decorations that we've had in the past aren't going to be appropriate for this year for whatever the reason. So we're going to kind of maybe trim those down, and remember to breathe and have fun. And that's the most important part. Really what I hope is that the holiday doesn't have to look, we all love tradition. We all look forward to it. But if it has to look a little different this year, that's okay too. And it's still going to be as meaningful to you and your family, as even if we make a few changes. So thank you so much. I'm happy to answer any questions at the end, but just take these as helpful tips to survive this season.
Thank you so much, Yael White. We really appreciate these tips. It's easy to forget to just follow these simple steps to give ourselves some peace of mind and some physical, relief. So once again, thank you. And at this time, we have a few minutes. We're going to turn it over to the audience. If you have any questions, we invite any of our guest speakers to answer them. So for those of you who don't know, and for those of you who do, would like a reminder, LA Found is a county-wide initiative focused on protecting, locating, and identifying persons with cognitive impairments, such as Alzheimer's, dementia, or autism, who are prone to wandering. This is a program that the Aging and Disabilities Department spearheads. We work with a number of different stakeholders, a number of different agencies and other county departments to administer the program. And through the program, we issue tracking devices that can work off of radio frequencies. Those are the Project Lifesaver tracking devices, or use the Global Positioning System, or GPS, through the Theora Care smartwatch. The focus for the program is on enhanced coordination among all of our different stakeholders, technology solutions, prevention, education, and training. And this is a very important component of the program. We do many outreach events and activities to spread the word and raise public awareness about the program. And it involves social engagement. So it's been a very successful program. We've issued over 1,800 tracking devices since we implemented the program, which was only a little bit over 6 years ago. So it's been a great success, and we look forward to expanding it even further in the future. So we want to also share with you some contact information. If you're interested in becoming a participant, or if you know of anyone that might be interested or might benefit from the program, you can either go to our website, which is ad.lacounty.gov/LAfound. You can go directly to our email address, which is lafound@ad.lacounty.gov. And you can apply directly online. You can also use the old-fashioned telephone by calling area code 833-569-7651. LA Found works with each applicant when they are unable to complete an application through the online portal. A team member will send an application via email and US mail if that is the best option. Applicants can also stop by with an appointment at the office for any issues regarding their application and device setup or troubleshooting. Okay, so do we have any questions? Okay, yes, I do see one here. If my clients have the tracker, can they also get the watch? Well, we definitely encourage that there be one single tracking device per participant. And I don't know that there would really be a need to have more than one at any given time. One of the things that we are encouraging, however, is if there's somebody that's currently using a Project Lifesaver radio frequency tracking device, they are encouraged, if they are interested in switching out to the GPS system, please reach out to us and let us know, and we can see about making that switch for you. Okay, how is LA Found providing outreach to people with disabilities? Well, what I can tell you is that we do our regular outreach activities, our events. We are very interested in reaching out to anyone who would like to have us present to them. We have a regular schedule in which we accept invitations from any agency, any county department, anyone within the county that we can spread the word to. And this certainly includes anyone with disabilities of any sort. We have reached out to many among the disability communities, and we have actually worked very closely with our LA County Commission on Disabilities to provide the information at a number of the events that they sponsor and that they coordinate themselves. So we certainly welcome the opportunity to reach out to any of the communities out there that we can. I understand there may be a fee for the device. Can you please share the amount for the device and if there are any stipends to cover the cost? The way the program works is that for anyone that qualifies for the program, and the eligibility is actually very easy to qualify for, which is basically if you live in LA County and you're prone to wandering because of a cognitive impairment, such as Alzheimer's, dementia, or autism, then you will qualify. So the cost, if you do qualify, is nothing. It's free. So we definitely encourage you to reach out if you think you might benefit. You will not be charged anything for the device or for the batteries or accessories that are a part of it. Okay, so we do have another question for you. We'd like to know if there are any other topics that you'd like to see for future webinars. And once again, we invite you to put your answer in the chat box because we are very curious to know what other topics you'd like to see us present in our future webinars. And with that stated, we will go ahead and ask a second poll question for all of our attendees. So the question is simply, did you find the information in this webinar useful? And you'll have a number of different ratings that you can give. Strongly agree, agree, neutral, disagree, or strongly disagree. Okay, we're seeing a lot of the answers appearing. We'll give it a couple more seconds. Right, well, it's looking very good. We have about, well, nearly half of our attendees strongly agreeing. So we're very happy to see that. And then a few less of the agreeing and then a few neutral. Okay, well, thank you so much for that.
And Mr. Cochin, we have like a very brief breathing exercise that I can demonstrate with our participants.
Thank you so much, Dr. Fakrabati. We do definitely have some time for that. So please go ahead.
Going to go ahead and share my screen again. All right, now we will engage in a breathing exercise. Breathing can become faster and shallower when we feel anxious, distressed, or uncomfortable. Therefore, we can pay attention and recognize these effects and make conscious changes in our breathing, rate, and depth. Breathing impacts our physical and mental health. Please make sure that you are in a safe and comfortable position. Take a few natural breaths to settle into the moment. Then turn your awareness to your breath. Breathe in through your nose while rolling your shoulders back. Exhale through your mouth while relaxing your shoulders. Breathe in through your nose while rolling your shoulders back. Exhale through your mouth while relaxing your shoulders. As you continue your deep breathing, notice the sensation of the air entering your nostrils, or the rise and fall of your chest and abdomen. Pay attention to the rhythm, depth, and pace of your breath without attempting to alter it. When your mind inevitably wanders, perhaps to some concerning thoughts or distractions, return gently back to paying attention to your breathing. Breathe in through your nose while rolling your shoulders back. Exhale through your mouth while relaxing your shoulders. Breathe in through your nose while rolling your shoulders back. Exhale through your mouth while relaxing your shoulders. Now bring your attention back to the room. Notice what you can see and hear. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Fakrabati. And so in the meantime, we did receive a couple more questions in the chat box. One is, I'm a special education teacher and currently working on a disability identification bracelet to alert law enforcement to improve communication for people with disabilities during stressful situations, and would like to collaborate with LA Found to increase awareness. And I see that there was an answer given by our team. Yes, we definitely encourage you to reach out to us. We would absolutely love to collaborate with you on that. So yes, please go ahead and send an email, and we'd be very happy to work with you on that. We also got a suggestion for future webinars, and that is, can a webinar be done providing legal information for our seniors? Yes, absolutely. We would love to follow up on that. We have a very good collaboration and partnership with our district attorney, as well as our Department of Consumer and Business Affairs. And we actually have done a number of presentations in the past on financial abuse and a number of the scams that are out there in collaboration with the Consumer and Business Affairs Department. And yes, we would absolutely love to do it in the format of a webinar. So yeah, we will look into that. Thank you so much for that suggestion. Okay, well, thank you everyone so much for joining us in today's webinar and for the wonderful participation from our caregivers and families. I'd like to take an opportunity to thank our speakers and panelists, Barbara McClendon, Dr. Heidi Fakrabati, and Yael White. I also want to thank my team for all of their hard work in making this webinar happen. So this is all the time we have today. Please reach out to us with any questions that you may have that you may not have answered during the webinar. And if you'd like to apply for LA Found or need any resources. So once again, please send an email to lafound@ad.lacounty.gov, or you can call area code 833-569-7651. Make sure to check your email for a copy of this video, and you can also go to ad.lacounty.gov for more information about the LA County Aging and Disabilities Department. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great day.